Breaking news out of Washington, D.C., folks. Gun control is on the move. H.R. 715 has been filed. It is Joe Biden's bill to end the private sale of firearms in this country. It's got hundreds of co-sponsors, but you will not believe who the lead sponsor of this bill is. Watch the video, hit the link, and join the fight. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here at the New York State Firearms Association, taking a break tonight from state-level updates to give you guys some breaking news in the fight to stop gun control in Washington, D.C. I think every one of us knows that Joe Biden has two primary goals right now when it comes to gun control. First, he wants a national ban on so-called assault weapons, banning the AR-15. And number two, and perhaps even more important for Joe Biden, he wants to end the private sale of firearms in this country. He's going to do it through universal background checks. Now, I know we already have universal background checks in New York State, but don't tune this out because New York's congressional delegation is big enough that it could make or break this new gun control bill in Washington, D.C. Everyone remembers, I think also 2 years ago in the previous Congress, Nancy Pelosi, on orders from Joe Biden, passed this bill through the House. It was H.R. 8. It did what Joe Biden wants, bans private party sales, and gives him a national registry of gun owners and makes most of us into felons if we violate this tyrannical garbage. Now, that bill passed the House, but it died in the Senate. And then gun owners finally flipped the House last November, fired Pelosi as the speaker. And we probably all thought, at least for a moment, I sure hoped anyway, at least for a moment, that maybe, just maybe, the non-stop gun control bills passing out of the House may have come to an end. But sadly, guys, that is not the case. Just last week in Washington, D.C., H.R. 715 was unveiled on the House floor. H.R. 715 is this year's version of H.R. 8 from the last Congress. It bans private sales, creates a national gun owner registry, and it makes us all into felons if we do not obey this tyrannical legislation. But here is what makes this so dangerous. H.R. 715 was not filed by a Democrat. H.R. 715 was filed by Pennsylvania Republican Brian Fitzpatrick. Here's a photograph of Brian right now. This guy is such a gun-grabbing ghoul that when he ran for re-election last year, he had the endorsement of Michael Bloomberg's Every Town for Gun Safety. Apparently, New York is not the only state to have Republicans stab gun owners in the back time and time again. So if you knew nothing else about this bill, the fact that it was sponsored by a Republican makes it very dangerous. Guys, whatever else you do, hit the link below, sign your petition opposing H.R. 715. Because if you're Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House right now, who's never, ever been a friend of gun owners, you don't want to pass a Democrat-filed gun control bill. You're the Republican leader of the House, after all. But now with H.R. 715, Kevin McCarthy has a Republican-sponsored gun control bill. Bloomberg loves it. Joe Biden loves it. And here's the thing. Democrats in the House, they don't care who authors the gun control bill. They'll support anything. So 180 congressional Democrats have already got on board this bill and co-sponsored in just the first week. I would not be surprised to see over 200 members on this bill just a week from now. So this bill becomes very dangerous. Number one, sponsored by a Republican. Number two, it has massive bipartisan support. Now, right now, no Republicans in D.C. from our delegation or anywhere else have co-sponsored this bill. But we all know how this worked last year when Pelosi passed H.R. 8. At the last minute, we had Republicans here in New York cross over the aisle, stand with Nancy Pelosi, and vote for this gun control bill. So it is crucial that gun owners make their voice heard right away and tell every member of our delegation right now here in the state, you better vote no on this gun control bill. We have showed our delegation via Chris Jacobs' stupidity and his self-immolation attacking our AR-15s a year ago what can happen to vulnerable legislators, even here in New York State, if they support the Biden gun control agenda. The same thing can happen again if these guys get on board and support this bill, but they have to hear from you guys right away. This bill is not about stopping crime. It's not about trying to register or track criminals. It's about one thing: registering and tracking you and me and every other gun owner in America, adding us all into Joe Biden's massive gun control database. And we all know why. Again, they cannot confiscate what they cannot find. House Republicans have the smallest majority in almost 100 years right now in D.C. And that's why I'm telling you, New York's congressional delegation is big enough that our Republicans, rhinos, conservatives, and everybody else can make or break the passage of this bill. So, guys, do not hold back. Hit the link. Sign your petition. Tell your member of Congress you had better vote no on H.R. 715 or any other version of this bill.